I saw The Watchers the other night, and here's my first reactions to the film. The first act has a lot of great intrigue, great suspense, great tension, a great setup, a great use of sound design. The second act, while it's still strong, it slows down a lot. There's a lot of exposition that is dumped on you in here. There's more questions than answers given to you in the film, but don't worry, there are some answers to some questions in the film. The use of lighting was great in the film. When you see the silhouette of the creatures, I thought it was when it was the most terrifying in the film. Everything that took place in the forest landscape is when I felt that this movie was at its best. And then we get to the third act, which feels like a completely different story, because we have one Watchers movie that takes place in the forest, and then we have a second movie that takes place in a different location for the last 45 minutes. And this is where, M. Night Shyamalan definitely had his hands touching around in here, because there's a grand twist ending at the end of the film, which the twist ending, I honestly didn't mind. I mean, I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was bad. I accepted it. I thought it worked and landed okay for the film. But the last 45 minutes, it just felt tonally inconsistent with the story. It just felt like they wanted to make two movies here, but they weren't sure that a sequel was going to get greenlit. So we have two different movies here happening at the same time. The first hour of the film is everything that we saw in the trailer. And then we had the last 45 minutes, which is a completely different movie to what we saw. And the direction in here is really strong. The execution of the story is good. The third act, I really didn't like. I felt like this movie was 45 minutes too long. They could have cut that entire sequel, clickbait bullshit out of this movie. But everything that was in the forest, everything that dealt with the execution of that and kind of exploring these creatures and this world, is when I felt that this movie was at its best, and by far that was my favorite part of the movie. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.